Sneezing is a complex physiological reaction that occurs involuntarily to maintain the health of the respiratory tract and expel harmful particles from the body. This reaction is triggered by mechanical, chemical, or physical stimuli on nerve receptors in the nasal mucosa, and through neuromuscular mechanisms, leads to the rapid expulsion of air from the lungs. Let's delve into the causes of sneezing and some interesting aspects of it from a scientific perspective. One of the primary reasons for sneezing is the entry of fine particles and irritants into the nasal cavity. These particles can include dust, air pollutants, or microscopic allergens like pollen. When these particles reach sensory receptors in the nose, the trigeminal nerves become activated and send signals to the brainstem. These signals stimulate the neural centers responsible for sneezing, which result in a coordinated contraction of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, causing trapped air to be expelled from the respiratory tract at high speed. Studies have shown that the speed of air expelled during a sneeze can reach up to 160 kilometers, helping to remove the irritants from the airways. One of the most common causes of frequent sneezing is respiratory allergies. Individuals with allergic rhinitis react to allergens such as pollen, pet dander, or mold. These allergens stimulate the immune system, leading to the release of histamines by immune cells, which in turn cause nasal mucosal inflammation and persistent sneezing. Interestingly, over 30% of the global population suffers from some form of allergy, often accompanied by frequent sneezing. A relatively rare but fascinating phenomenon related to sneezing is the photic sneeze reflex. In this condition, sudden exposure to bright light, especially sunlight, can trigger sneezing. Studies suggest that around 18 to 35% of people experience this reflex. The photic sneeze occurs due to an unusual nerve response between the optic nerve and the trigeminal nerve. This abnormal connection causes the brain to mistakenly interpret bright light as a nasal irritant, resulting in sneezing. This phenomenon is often hereditary, and it's more commonly observed in families with a history of this type of sneezing.
Another scientific cause of sneezing is sudden temperature changes. When a person moves abruptly from a warm environment to a cold one or vice versa, temperature changes can stimulate the thermal receptors in the nose, leading to sneezing as a response. This reaction is especially common during the colder months when moving from the cold outdoors to a warm indoor environment. Sneezing caused by spicy foods is another interesting example, and it occurs due to the presence of chemical compounds like capsaicin in peppers. This compound stimulates nerve receptors in the nasal mucosa, and the brain interprets this stimulation as the presence of a foreign irritant, initiating the sneeze reflex. These types of sneezes often occur after consuming spicy and heavily seasoned foods. Viral and bacterial infections are also major contributors to sneezing. Cold and flu viruses enter the body through the nasal mucosa, prompting the immune system to produce excess mucus to combat them. This mucus, along with viral and bacterial irritations, leads to frequent sneezing during the illness. In these cases, sneezing is part of the body's effort to expel pathogens from the upper respiratory system. In summary, sneezing is a complex reaction that the body uses to protect the respiratory system and combat environmental irritants or pathogens. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this episode. We hope the information provided on the causes and mechanisms of sneezing was useful to you. If you enjoyed this content, we'd love for you to give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting and scientific content.